Are you ready to stand up an automated modular housing factory? Now you can buy everything needed right off of the shelf. Fact or fiction? Who is the provider and how does it work? Join us on Dave Cooper Live for this breaking news session with the modular and robotic pioneers who recently unveiled System P4. Waypaver International and German automation leader KUKA have teamed up to provide a pre-designed factory automation solution to build housing with car factory efficiency and precision. P4 Housing Collective is a team of independent companies working to supercharge the construction process through an ecosystem of standard products and services designed to work together. P4 is an abbreviation of the four elements, including people, products, pre-construction, and plants. You may find familiar faces like Rick Murdoch, Merrick Maycomer, Curtis Fletcher, Timo Heel, and Gerald Mice. Can't do any of this, though, without our sponsors. So before we hop into it, quick shout out to Carson Holmquist and the team at Stream Logistics. They are experts in high-stake freights, and they are the perfect choice for projects with timelines and a specific delivery sequence. Shipments with high complexity and unique constraints need new methods of construction for shipping them, need new transportation solutions, and they are up for the challenge. Go and visit Stream Logistics at streamlogistics.com. Also, a big shout out to CombiLift, and we know the guests on here like CombiLift. They are the largest global manufacturer of multi-directional forklifts and straddle carriers. They are a leader in long-haul load handling solutions, offering free warehouse and site optimization design services. More than 50,000 CombiLift units have been sold in over 85 countries since CombiLift was established in 1998. Please visit them at combilift.com. And last on the list of our awesome sponsors is Brave Control Solutions, where offsite manufacturing systems that do more than just improve productivity. They have a unique approach to industrialized construction, a lineup of flexible automation systems specifically designed for the construction industry, empowered by CAD to Fab. Turnkey solutions for 3D volumetric assembly, structural insulated panels, finished wall assemblies, MEP component processing, assembly, kitting, and storage. Learn more at thinkbrave.com. All right, so without further ado, we have a panel for you, so let's bring them on one by one. First up, we got Rick Murdoch. Welcome, Rick. We got Merrick. Doing well. Merrick Maycomer in the house. That's right. We got Curtis Fletcher joining us. Hey, everybody. And Timo Heel. Timo, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great. So, Timo, you are the first, you are the only new person on this board, I think, that hasn't made a presence on Dave Cooper Live yet. So we're going to have our eyes on you and have a lot of fun talking with you, because I think you're going to bring a lot of really interesting conversation. But first, let's hop into this. Rick, I'm going to start off with you. Tell us a little bit about, System P4, Waypaver, all of these different things that you have going on. Can you just give us an overview so we can have everybody out there understand, what Rick Murdoch and the team's doing? And then we're going to jump directly into what System P4 is. Sound good?
Yes, that sounds great. So thank you very much. We're pretty excited. Waypaver has introduced Systems P4, which is a housing collective that's all put together. And it's basically four different companies that have come together with the same goal and purpose about moving our industry forward, being able to produce more housing with more efficiency. So those four companies, powered by KUKA, are prepared to go out to a customer and right off the shelf, as you said it, build new manufacturing companies that can produce a lot of housing for the needs that we have today. So that's kind of all it in a nutshell. Each company has got its own expertise that joins in.
It does have its own expertise. Merrick, welcome back to the show. It's always an honor to have you on here as well, and that you're part of all these different things that are going on in the growth. And by the way, I tell everybody the best company culture I have been to yet in the industry. No offense to anybody else out there. You got good company culture, but you don't have tassels on your motorbikes in the warehouse. I can tell you that. That's company
It's
culture.
the tassels that make the difference.
Yeah, it is. It is. So during the introduction, Merrick, and I'm going to ask you this, we talked about the people, right? The lead pillar of all the organizations come together. Can you tell us about yourself and a little bit about the company culture that you kind of like to see in place within the companies?
Yeah, so I've had a pretty awesome career, but before it was awesome, it wasn't awesome. And about 10 years ago, I really got the opportunity to try to make my coworkers' lives a little bit better through different programs and initiatives. And over the past decade, Curtis and Rick have really created an avenue for me to explore those different means and methods. And we've created a couple of really amazing companies that have cultures that are really kind of destination employers. And what I'd like to see happen as we provide more manufacturing across the nation and then the globe, I'd like to see the same culture of love, respect, transparency that we've been able to create to be replicated and duplicated to those that are interested in seeing what we've done differently.
Love it. And guess what, everybody? They don't have employees. They have solutioneers, right? Solutioneers. Did I get it right? Yep. I did, right?
Yeah.
That's right. And I use that everywhere I go. They're either team members to me or solutioneers. Curtis, you didn't think you were going to get out of this unscathed, did you?
That's all good.
Yeah. So process systems and pre-construction. Tell us about yourself and how prefab logic contributes to System P4.
Oh my goodness. I don't want to bore everybody with my life story, but been in manufacturing for just about 40 years now, doing design development products. And Rick and I founded Prefab Logic about 6 years ago, really focused on bringing kind of all of the refinements it takes to actually produce modular housing in a factory. And over that time, we obviously got into building up another factory that utilized automation and really stepped Prefab Logic's game up to that next level where we had to hit perfection. And so the part that Prefab Logic gets to actually play in that arena is really bringing that expertise to new manufacturers as they start up their factories. They don't have to go try to reinvent the wheel and reinvent how this is done and how to create data for the automation, et cetera. And so that's really what Prefab Logic is all about.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. All right, Timo, welcome to the Dave Cooper Live Show. It's your first time. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are, where you're from, what is your background? And then also let's talk a little bit about KUKA. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Cool. Yeah, I'm Timo Heil. I'm located here in Germany, up in the north. As you see, it's already dark outside here. So it's around 7 p.m. here. I'm with KUKA since 20 years, and I'm doing this 20 years only automation business for various industries, mostly for automotive. What is KUKA doing? We supply for more than over 100 years solutions to making life and work easier. And it's all about automation. It's all about humans, all about people, as multiple stated now. What we are doing, we're providing automation solutions, and always we are looking, can we assist with the challenges societies have? In the past, it was mobility, then electronics, then it's construction. And in this, we can use our automation knowledge and our extensive background we have in various industries to help move this industry going forward. Because what we are seeing, there are big parallels between automotive in the 70s, 80s. I was not there so far, but this is what people in history told me, compared to today in the construction industry. We go with our OEM suppliers in the automotive basically the same way, from low automation basically less efficiency to that what the car industry today have. And we think that we can provide this to the construction industry as well, because like I stated 2 weeks the first time, these are family dreams and they should be affordable.
I love that. They are family dreams and we need affordability. Merrick, you look like you were getting ready to say something. No?
No, I'm just agreeing with what Timo said. That's exactly why we're all in it. Something really special happened when meeting Timo and his team over the past 10 months. And in recent history, the group was here kind of finalizing some details before we launched this big push. And at the end of the day, and we had spent about 3 days together, and the end of the last day, Rick and I were driving back to Boise, and we just kind of talked about how special it was. There wasn't a single person in the room that was seeking doing this for gains and riches. Everybody was in it for the right reasons. And the right reasons is humanity. Human right is a right to have a roof over your head. And a human right is a right to work in a positive environment. And this team right here is going together to really change the world for all the right reasons. And I feel really proud to be a part of it. So I was grateful that Timo said that about family, because it is a family dream to have a home. And that's what we're here to do.
It is a family dream to have a home, and it's exciting to see, groups like yourselves coming together to work on, that common goal. And, several others in our industry are really working, on that common goal as well. But as we grow this, you guys are really taking it to the next level. So I sit there and I think about how busy all of you are, right? I just sit there and I've been there. I've seen it, right? And then you guys keep just taking it to the next level. And right before the show, I said, that's part of your culture. That's part of your team that allows you to be successful and to grow and build. And I think, that ought to be, applauded. And you know what? Look at this. I can do that. Yeah, that definitely should be applauded. But so who sits around and just says, all right, well, this is what we're going to do next? Like, I mean, are you sitting at a bar and you get this idea? Like, how did this all come together? Just give us the backstory, and then let's really get into it, what System P4 is all about. Rick, why don't you start with that?
Well, you know what? We've made several advances in prefab logic. We've made advances in Waypaver and have done several plants. Obviously the human side of that comes out from Modular Maven and so forth, and setting a culture that enjoys that. And so we've got all this newfound information. How do you hold that back? I mean, it's one of those things that we've learned. And our devotion is to create a way for housing to become attainable for most people, and for all people if possible, because there's no such thing as affordable housing today. So how do we get there? And so we were introduced to Timo with KUKA, and we had a great conversation and understood the power that they have and the knowledge they have and all the years of experience they've had in the automobile industry. And it was time to make the next move to bring all companies together to forward the charge on what we really believe is extremely important. That's providing houses for everyone, and doing it in a way that can be fun, and do it in a prescribed way to where we build off our successes. So the group came together that way. Timo, I'll hand it off to you.
That's basically, Rick is fully correct. I remember very well one late evening in December. It was around, I said, 11 p.m. in Germany. And then I was first time introduced to Rick. And then we have a couple of interesting calls. And close before Christmas, we decide, let's do something and figure out where it leads us. And it leads us exactly to that moment here that we have a system and solution ready to go, and bringing two pioneers together. That's what we can provide and what P4 can provide to that. And it's all about getting construction industry more in touch with automation, taking the fear off. It does not replace people. The opposite is the case. The jobs will be higher qualified. It's more software based, more high technology based, more ladies in the plant, like Rick, Merrick, and Curtis already proved it. And we have similar challenges over here in Europe. This is a global problem.
Yeah.
And bringing these two pioneers together could make a difference.
Yeah, well, I think it will, and it already has proven to do something. Rick, were you going to say something?
You know, Dave, we believe we're solutioneers as well. We're part of that team, solutioneers, and we've solved so many different things. But what we've done so far has been awesome, but it just hasn't been enough. And now we've got the collective group that can come back and make a large difference and solve even more problems. And I think the more you attack a problem and focus on it and solve things, maybe one at a time, maybe several at a time, you eventually get to a point where you're saying, okay, this works and this can work, and here's the recipe for it. And so this group, Curtis and Merrick and Timo and myself, just thought it was time to put that recipe out there.
Yeah, it is. It is time for that. So let's simplify this a little bit, Curtis, and I'm gonna go to you on this one. So I'm out here and I'm in the lovely world of maybe I want to manufacture something, or maybe I want to build stuff, or maybe I want to invest in this. Who is the product for? Who specifically is this designed for, or who would your client be for this solution?
Well, I mean, I think it varies, right? We've got the client that Waypaver, for instance, has, which is really revolving around, getting manufacturing started. But then as those factories get started, the client really turns to the factory itself in terms of the data and so forth. But then the products, which is a really important piece. We're seeing this put into action a lot, where Effective House is actually something that somebody can move from the idea of needing to put a building in to a finished design super quickly with pre-designed, pre-engineered products. And as we move through this sort of technology push, those pre-designed products are what's going to turn the industry into a more automotive-like, affordable product system that people can buy housing, in a more affordable way, because we can produce it quicker, right? At the end of the day, we got to produce faster in order to get the price down, and standardized products is what's going to get us there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is, right? It's standardized products, but products that are standardized in a way that they're still unique to the people that would be living in those products. And
Absolutely.
I think that's kind of the key to all of this, is how do you standardize it, but still give people that American dream? Because no matter what we think, that, architecture changes every 50 miles, it seems like, in this country, right? So how do you meet those needs, and how do you work with that? And I think the companies within the companies, is that the best way to say it? Your companies within the companies, right? I mean, you're going to be as big as Johnson & Johnson with all these little subdivisions soon. You guys keep going the way you're going. Let's say hi to a couple of people in the audience, then we're going to dive into this a little bit more. And I think there were some questions in here as well. So real quick, we got Michael Bruce in the audience. He's an awesome laser person. He's out there in Blueprints laser stuff, foundations, utilities, all of that. So thanks for joining us. Gregory Laha, how you doing, Gregory? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. And then we also have morning team, Vamsi Kumar, Remo Homes. So good morning. Thank you for joining us today. Look at all these people joining. Buzz Holitzer in the house. What's happening? Fappy Monday. Buzz is in the passive house world, so they replace F's with PH, just so you know what that is. It's a little inside joke. We got Rishma, Housing is a Basic Human Right, from YouTube. Rishma, thank you so much for joining us and saying hello today. We got good morning from George Ryman out in Phoenix. Good to see you, George, as well. Look at all these people. Hello from Stream Logistics, Raman Parsa. Hey, that's one of our awesome sponsors. And by the way, they have changed the way that transportation is done. And I think you guys, I've said you all should meet each other in past episodes. So hopefully that has happened. They are awesome people over there. Not just because they sponsor us. They're really a young group and they're doing it differently. And I love that. You guys know Joel Hutchins by chance? He's apologizing for joining late. I didn't even know you were late, Joel, until you told me. So appreciate that. Don't be late next time. We don't like late people. Seriously. All right. Bright Michael Bruce had a question. What is your view of the potential of applying robotics in on-site construction, 3D printing, block laying, etc.? I don't know who wants to take that. That's an interesting question.
I'll from
There
my
you go.
viewpoint, Michael, that's we're seeing it done more and more, and I think there's certain applications that really work well. I'll tell you the reason we're so focused on volumetric is because the labor resources on the job site, and if you still have to do electrical and plumbing and those sorts of things, they become challenging. So but that said, there's always different applications that need to be done on site. And so having those robotic sort of capabilities on site, I think, are huge. I think it's part of what needs to be done. You're never going to answer everything with one type of construction.
Yeah. Perfect. I appreciate the question, Michael. We always like to call out everybody. Megan, thank you for joining us today. Love it. Love it. Cooper Lane is with us, another Brave Control Solution sponsor of ours. What is the mechanism for model changes? Now, this is a person that's in this space, right? Is automotive style retool and reteach? Is the question?
All right. I don't want to be a hog of the space here, but I will say
I will.
that is one of the big challenges that we had, and I know Rick can attest to this, is that we had to create a system that was flexible because housing isn't just sort of automotive like where you've got one prescriptive path that you just keep doing this over and over again. It is really more about being able to build a 2x12 wall this time. Another wall that's got blocking in it for stairs, that's a 2x4 wall, etc. Very complex things have to go through this machinery, and that's what makes it so difficult. And so our mechanism for change is really building the machinery and the automation technology behind that machinery that can adapt and overcome those challenges.
And as an automotive guy, I can say this is not automotive style retool and reteach. It is all about data, and as soon as a new data set is coming in, then it will go to new positions, not based on the program, based on the measures which were given by the bill of material list, for example. The different approach here, and it has to be because we are doing mass customization here.
I love it. Mass customization, and we're in. So we're going to hop into that question in just a moment. Let me get through a couple of these because that opens a whole can of worms when it comes to a conversation when you're trying to step and repeat a product, but also saying we're doing mass customization. So that'll be a fun conversation. Cooper Lane, Brave Control, thank you so much for that. Think Brave. Check out their website if you want to learn about automation with them as well. Greg Ugaldi, I don't know if you guys know Greg, but Greg is the chair of the NAHB. He updates the president of the United States a couple times a year on housing, as well as the Secretary of Housing and others, and he is now the past chair. Greg says, great to see Merrick, Rick, Curtis, and Timo working together as a team. Will you use pilot programs to introduce these concepts? Who would like to take that one?
Rick, go on, Rick.
You know what? We will introduce them, and we're coming together as a team. I don't know the reference to pilot programs, but we'll be doing those, and we'll be looking for those individuals that want to have a manufacturing plant of all different sizes and shapes and outputs and so forth. But most of our pilot work will be done within the teams, looking at different sizes, different quantities, and all the things that are really needed by a manufacturing plant. So we do have customers that are talking to us as we speak. And as we go through that, then we'll use them and things we do for them as our pilots. But most of what we've done has already been done. It's been vetted because we've done it before. And it's been grown upon to a point that it really is a type of a off-the-shelf type product based on your needs.
Off-the-shelf products, but that's what we need, right? We need to start doing this if we're going to get mass, builds out there going across the country. I love it. All right, so there's a bunch. I mean, I'm not going to be able to get to everybody and all these comments and questions coming in, but we'll get back to talking to you here in just a moment to the audience. If you do have a question, put a Q in front of it. It'll make it easier for me to find over here in this long list. All right. So let's get into this question. Like, where are your clients, right? Is this a global solution, a domestic solution? What does the market look like are my questions. So who are the clients? Where is this happening at? And then, is this, something that you feel the market's just getting ready to boom with? Merrick, you want to start with that, or Rick, you want to go?
Either one.
I saw Merrick. She was taking a breath.
I'm watching his face.
Well, Merrick, go ahead.
Our clients are developers that are looking to fulfill their own needs. Our clients could be city, state, government. Our clients could be GCs that are looking for a different way of building to help supply their own needs as well. I see this right now being our focus is on America right now, and that's where we live, and where we're going to start putting these plants up for in the beginning. But then it is a global issue, and we aim to help produce these factories across the globe.
Awesome.
Dave, I might add to that because Merrick hit the nail on the head. But the other opportunity we have is for other manufacturers that are already in our industry. If you looked at our industry as well as construction as a whole, one of the biggest issues is lack of labor, right? And the labor is getting tougher and tougher. And we know that because we've operated plants. And if you're on site, it's getting tough as well. So really, if you're even a modular manufacturer already, and you're really having to battle the people side of things and getting people interested in your company and coming to work in construction, then automation relieves you of that. I know that, that some that would say, well, you're putting people out of work, and that's just not the case. The case is the construction workers aren't there to put to work. And so that was one of the reasons why the automation was so critically important, that and the efficiency it gives you. So I think it's for all types of businesses, as Merrick mentioned. It's for developers, it's for manufacturers, it's for those that are interested in stepping up and doing something to help our housing needs.
Perfect. I got to put it up. Rick, it looks like Michelle's here. Says, Dad, so proud of you. So nice to meet you. I haven't met Michelle yet, but you know what? What's great about this is you guys are all human, just like the rest of us out there. And it's always fun to celebrate success with family. So thanks for joining in, Michelle. Let's see you more often on here.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, love it. All right. So I had another question, and I'm going to tie it in with some questions that are coming into the comments. And this is for Timo. Timo, is KUKA already in the home building space, or is this your entrance into housing? But before you answer that, I want to make sure I put this up. Banu Dadlani, if I said that wrong, I apologize. Has KUKA done this before in Europe? So I guess it's really kind of the same question. Go ahead.
We as KUKA are present in the construction industry multiple years now. Of course, that concept with modular homes is something new, especially when it comes to automation. And to answer your question specifically, yes, we are currently doing this on a different project for another European customer in UK with a similar approach, bringing or increasing affordable housing benefits with automation and robotics.
Yeah, great. And Henry Ford, invented the car before cars were invented, right? I mean, there is always a learning process, and I'm going to get into the good and the bad of what that may have been here at the end. But first, I want to get through a couple more comments, and then we'll hop into that as well. So I love it, Michelle. Hi back to you. Gotta give hellos. I love it. Perfect.
My cheerleader.
Well, it's good to have cheerleaders, right?
It's awesome, especially for your daughters.
So it's funny, Joel Hutchins and Cooper Lane are going back here, but Joel actually made a comment, not really a question. He said the real product here is the process and the delivery, something that he's working on. Slate Technologies may be able to help with as well. So Joel's been a big supporter of this Dave Cooper Live endeavor that we've been on for a couple of years. But it is about the product and the process, right? I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
It is.
Go ahead, Curtis.
Yep. No, it is. I mean, they all sort of tie together, right? If you haven't really thought through systems that are going to be used in the factory, then it's going to be a tough road. And I think that's part of the problem in our industry overall over the years, is that we haven't really put that focus on there. There was in the early days of manufactured housing, but it's really, especially in the multifamily space, kind of derailed itself into custom one-off every time sort of structures, and that makes a very difficult manufacturing process. And so I totally concur with that statement.
Yeah, but okay, so let's lead into the other statement, right? So they're custom. You guys are doing a lot of custom builds. So the system that's in place allows you to be nimble, it sounds like, on your builds and what you're putting through the production line. Is that accurate to say?
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, it's not ideal, right? I mean, I think there's certain things people look at custom, especially in the multifamily space, right, which is one of the big spaces we're in. People look at custom being what the facade looks like or what the building looks like. That, true believer, you've got to have that capability. But let's be honest, a one-bedroom apartment is a one-bedroom apartment. There's not a lot that you're going to do there that's super different. There's few configurations you can have. So I think from a custom respect, it's really more about the building itself and the look of the building, which can totally be accomplished inside of an automated plant. That part is not a problem.
So, Dave, to add to that, Curtis is correct about that. I think the customization that can be referred to is customizing of manufacturing plants based on what their needs are, the products, because you design your plant around the product that you want to build. And so you can have many different types of products, but if you're going to build effectively with automation and robotics, the plant needs to be designed for that particular product. And so when you look at the array of different products, then there's a lot of customization in manufacturing plants that we would produce, depending on the volume that they want to produce, depending on the products that they want to produce. We can customize manufacturing to meet those needs.
Great point.
You going to add to that, Curtis, or?
No, he's spot on. Yeah. It's, I'm always looking at it from a product side, and Rick's absolutely right. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So, Merrick, this question's for you. Will System P4 provide guidance on talent? How does your experience with Modular Maven fit in? How can factories hire and develop their vision of solutioneers?
Wow. Yeah, it would absolutely involve talent. I'd really like to help others that are interested in my help.
Everybody's interested.
Learn how to, we do different interviewing processes. We ask different type of questions in our interviews. We are really trying to get down to the core of who a person is, not just who they show on paper. What was the second part of the question?
Yeah, the second part of the question. That's all right. That's all right. Well, how does the Modular Maven fit in? How can factories hire and develop their version of solutioneers? So it sounds to me that it's just part of the process of working with you.
It's absolutely part of the process. Yeah. So as we're building the factory with our clients, the next step is finding the people to help run that factory, and then the next step beyond that is figuring out who are you? Who do you want to show the world you are? What are your mission? What is your values? What is the purpose why somebody would want to be working at your company? And how are you going to help retain them? And keep them happy for the long term. Give them a plentiful career, mission-driven, with mission-driven purpose. So as these new factories are coming along, we'd love to offer some solutions that we've found to prove right.
Sure.
Darn it.
If you're out there and you haven't seen it, I mean, we did a bunch of interviews with a lot of the people at the AutoVol facility, and you're absolutely right. I don't think it's mandatory that everybody has tassels on their motor scooters that get them around a factory or what have you. So I wouldn't be scared that Merrick would make you do that, but I will tell you, she will teach you how to have fun with your employees, and also paint a picture of how the employees move up the ladder, because that was one of the things out of all the people we spoke to, they all felt that there was just opportunity to keep getting to the next level if they accomplish X, Y, Z. And I think that's key to happy employees, is that knowing that there's room to go to the next level and they don't feel like they're at a dead end. You know, and before you say anything, may I add, you guys had that plant, and then Amazon built a distribution center right around the block from you, and you are still known as the best company to work for right around the block. So I want to point that out. I mean, I remember you saying, Rick, like, you were like, really, is this happening? We're having an Amazon distribution center built right around the corner, and you still found a way to take it to the next level. So kudos to that.
You know, Dave, it's what Eric was really saying. It's creating an environment that people want to be in.
That's right.
And they want to come to work every day. They feel appreciated every day. And they know that you're more concerned about their growth sometimes than they are. Yeah. And it's putting them in a position where they can grow and advance themselves and flourish, and do it in a good place to do it with, surrounded by family people.
Absolutely. All right, here's a comment here. Henry Mickelberg from France. I used to think, like most of us, that the offsite industry should be plagiarizing the automotive industry. Having spent over a year with our global automotive client, it is entirely different business model. So that's a good point. It is a different business model. And I think we said that earlier. Yes?
Yeah, it is. Definitely. Yeah. But it's not about to copy automotive. It's about to learn the lessons they learned and bring this into specific automotive solution for the construction industry. As an automotive guy in brackets since 20 years, I can definitely repeat that this is a different business model and different solutions are needed. But automation deliver answers on for many needs in many different industries. So do not copy automotive, your construction industry.
There you have it. There you have it. That's right. Do not copy automotive, but you can take lessons learned, like you said, and apply those lessons learned without recreating the wheel. Bob Bender, another industry legend. Hey, Bob, good to see you. Does panel see any difference between commercial and single family offsite? Does the panel see any difference between commercial and single family offsite solutions?
No. I mean, they're both in need of automation. I don't see that any differently. They're different models from a factory operation perspective, just because they function differently, and your sales process is different. So, you know, your pipeline of business is going to be different, but at the end of the day, the production itself is very much the same.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Bob. I'm glad you joined us today. If you guys don't know Bob, you should. He's been in this industry a long time. All right, Rick, I got a question for you. What have you learned from Autovol as it relates to this new endeavor? We're looking for the good, the bad, so feel free to share all of your secrets. Everybody would love you for that. Give away all your IP. Come on, put it out there. We're ready.
Well, here's what I would tell you. The most important thing I've learned, and the most important thing I've learned is that the idea of having automation and robotics pick up the heavy lifting and taking off people actually does work. The idea of automation and robotics picking up the lack of labor that we have, it works as well, and it works with precision. The other thing that's really been enhanced that it was a little bit of a surprise to me, but not totally, is the type of workforce that we're getting because of the automation and robotics. We have a much more mixed workforce than I've ever had my entire career. We've got so many people with degrees and masters in engineering and electrical and structural and all these different things that are now into our industry right here on our plant floor, helping us with the automation and robotics. We've got our regular tradesmen that we always have in construction, which is awesome. We've got a huge uptick in females that are joining our industry, which I feel is critical. And so all those were drivers to create this new workforce that's coming into manufacturing.
Yeah.
New solutioneers that are coming in to make things happen. So it's a lot more diverse group than what I've ever experienced in my career.
Yeah, for sure. So we got time for two more questions here that we're going to put out, and maybe a couple more comments that we'll read. If you are joining us, we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. So get your tweets on if you're out there. And if you're not subscribed to the Dave Cooper Live channel on YouTube, you're wrong. go there and subscribe, but not until after this is over. And if you're not following Timo, Curtis, Rick, and Merrick, you're wrong. You should go there and follow them and watch everything that they're doing, because there's a lot to share and a lot to learn. So let's go to a comment here, and we'll keep going on 2 more questions. One of the things with all of this is that the 4 companies that form P4 Design, the system P4 Design, with their experience in mind. John Liebenthal seems like he knows a little bit about you guys, maybe, huh?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So here's one of the last of the 2 questions. Is System P4 self-funded, or is there an investor involved? And who would like to take that?
I can. It's self-funded.
That was simple. I didn't even need to put you full screen for that one, right?
Yep. It's,
you didn't give me enough time.
There are no investors.
I love it. All right. And then the last question is, any clients in the pipeline, and are you working with anybody here in the United States or in Europe?
There are ones in the pipeline. We're working with 2 groups currently in the U.S., and we're also being, I'll say, entertained or talked to two operations outside the U.S.
Got it. Love it.
We're
All
excited
right.
about it.
You should be. I mean, this is exciting stuff. All right. So what have we not talked about? Have I missed something that's super important to put out there that you want everybody to know? I'm not that good, guys. Come on. And girls. Sorry. I'm not that good. Come on. I mean, I do this a lot, but
Yeah. Merrick, I thought you would have already jumped in by now, right?
yeah. Not short for words. That's for sure.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying to just hold back.
No, I would say that you've covered it all from my perspective. You've got 4 companies and a KUKA coming together to do what we really have a passion for. We see it as a huge crisis across our country and other countries as well, and we want to do everything we can to try to do something about it. Because here's what we know: if we sit in place and don't do anything, the workforce is going to continue to dissolve. We know that housing is going to continue to come up short. And we know if there's going to be more people that's either homeless or struggling every day of their life just to try to be in a home. And we're not the group that's going to sit around and wait. We want to take action. And that's what we're trying to do with this new P4 Collective.
I also think that one of the things that people maybe miss is that you don't have to reinvent this.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to go out there and go through all the challenges that we went through and try to gain all that experience and headaches that you would have otherwise. So utilizing this system, we're doing it for you, right? We're doing it for other people. So.
Yeah. Perfect. And from YouTube, I put it up a minute ago. Vamsi Kumar said, great session today. Would love to pilot any new automation solution. So there you have it. People are paying attention. So, all right, let's wrap this up. So if you're an existing manufacturer, this solution's for you. If you're a developer, this solution could be for you. If you're looking to come into this space and open a new manufacturing facility, this system could be for you. Am I missing? Right? I mean,
Government,
basically,
city,
what?
state.
Yeah, if you're in it, right. If you're in the
And this
These
Good.
guys really need to step in and help.
Well, I love it. Well, listen, I think you guys are amazing. Appreciate you being on the show today. Timo, I will tell you, you got 2 thumbs up from me. You did an excellent job being your first time on the live show with us. Curtis, Rick, Merrick, thank you so much for jumping in today and sharing this great news. And I know you just announced this. You are open for business, so everybody understands this system is ready to go, open for business. In fact, what I didn't do, let me just put it up there real quick, is I did not show. Let's do it this way. There is the website, systemp4.com. So if you want to find out more about this, go to systemp4.com. It's all right here. You can learn about it, or you can just reach out to any one of these fine folks on the show, and they will help you. And if you can't get a hold of them, just ask me. I'll help you. Cool?
Thanks, Dave.
Awesome. Thank you,
All right.
Dave.
Dave, thank you. We love what you do. Appreciate you having us on.
No, we
Very much
appreciate
so.
we appreciate all of you coming on. Don't go anywhere. I'll come back to you for a roundup after this. But everybody else, I hope you have an awesome Monday, because Mondays are awesome. That means we're going to get more work done and more houses built. And that's a good thing that's going on right now. I'm Dave Cooper. Make sure you go there and subscribe and follow all these people here. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.